DMK supporter tried to stop the detention vehicle in which Udhayanidhi Stalin was being taken to Thanjavur. There was high drama which happened as the police detained him from his house earlier in the day. Remember this at a time when the DMK was already filing an anticipatory bail plea to try and get anticipatory bail and to stop this arrest from happening. But despite that, the arrest happened. But you can see this man in a white shirt who stood in front of the police detention van trying to stop the vehicle from whisking away Udhayanidhi Stalin being taken to Thanjavur. This is a supporter who tried to stop the van, however, in vain. But these are the dramatic visuals that you can see which are coming in. On the extreme right-hand side of your screens, you can see how one of the DMK cadres held on to the van, held on to the railings on the van in a desperate attempt to try and stop the van taking the leader of opposition in the Tamil Nadu Assembly away to Thanjavur after he was arrested. Let me go across to Tharini. Tharini, goes to show this is more than just a personal slugfest. This is a huge political flashpoint that we are seeing in front of our eyes today.
Well, as Udhayanidhi Stalin was, getting detained by the police, hundreds of DMK workers, they tried to surround the detention vehicle. In fact, they tried to stop the detention vehicle from going forward. In fact, this particular image has now emerged in which a DMK supporter can be seen trying to stop this detention vehicle from its front side. So this particular DMK supporter, he is in fact widening his hands and he is trying to stop the detention vehicle from going any forward. So this image is now being shared widely by the DMK supporters online. So it is not only this particular individual seen on the image. In fact, hundreds of DMK workers, they tried to block and stop the detention vehicle in which Udhayanidhi Stalin is right now being taken to Thanjavur. In fact, the situation still continues to be tense on the ground because the DMK is also planning to stage protests across the state condemning the arrest of Udhayanidhi Stalin. Already many top leaders of the DMK such as O. Pannirselvam, Geeta Jeevan, etc. they got detained by the police for indulging in protests in their respective districts. So following the arrest of Udhayanidhi Stalin, now the DMK district secretaries, they are calling for urgent internal meetings in their respective districts, and we can expect a statewide protest from the DMK condemning the arrest of Udhayanidhi Stalin very soon in this regard.
In fact, do stay on with us. More breaking news which is coming in, the latest visuals which are coming in from Thanjavur now. Both TVK and DMK protesters can be seen in one frame, face to face. We've always seen a politics of acrimony. I'm going to come back to you, Dharini. Politics of personal acrimony, I should say, which was there from the time that we've seen of J. Jayalalitha as well as Karunanidhi. The arrests, the detentions, the personal attacks, the threats, and now it seems it's the next gen. But the acrimony and the personal attacks aren't stopping, and the cadres, as always, have taken to the roads. This is very serious law and order situation we see on our screens. Dharini.
In fact, Udhayanidhi Stalin is currently being taken to Thanjavur. Udhayanidhi Stalin is currently being taken to Thanjavur, and we have got a set of visuals from Thanjavur in which supporters of both TVK and DMK can be seen in the very same spot. In fact, we are also given to understand through local sources that water bottles were thrown from both sides against each other. Water bottles were thrown in large numbers, and now the police deployment has increased in that particular area. It has been increased in that particular area. So in that visuals, we can see the flags of both TVK and the DMK. So a large number of supporters belonging to both the political parties, they are standing in the very same spot and they are just trying to hit at each other. They're trying to throw water bottles at each other. The police are in fact placing a large number of barricades over there, and they're also increasing the deployment because by this evening Udhayanidhi Stalin will be taken to Thanjavur, and once Udhayanidhi reaches Thanjavur, the situation on the ground is expected to be more tense. More number of DMK workers, they are expected to gather in Thanjavur because they'll be protesting. They're already in fact protesting on the ground condemning the arrest of Udhayanidhi Stalin. So to prevent any untoward law and order situation from unfolding, the police deployment in Thanjavur is being rapidly increased, and but the workers of both the parties, one from the TVK side side and the other from the DMK side. They are on the ground constantly. They can be seen constantly trying to hit each other. They can be seen throwing water bottles at each other. And if the police department is not being cautious, then there is a possibility of a big law and order problem unfolding on the ground there in Thanjavur. So of course we can expect the police department to remain conscious and to increase the police deployment multifold to make sure nothing untoward happens on the ground.
Right, Dharani, Varshini is also joining us. The situation remains quite tense in Thanjavur as well, where Udhayanidhi Stalin is now being taken. Let me go across immediately to Varshini too. Varshini, the DMK in this particular instance calling this arrest as an act of fascism on the part of the ruling TVK dispensation in Tamil Nadu. They've repeatedly insisted that no name had been taken during the course of Udhayanidhi Stalin's speech, and that he also clarified that he was actually speaking about the Kaveri River when he made that remark, which is being interpreted by several others as a double meaning remark as well. This is a major flashpoint now in Tamil Nadu politics. Take us through the kind of political discourse that we witnessed after this particular comment was made, and how other political parties are also weighing in, including the Congress, among others.
Well, this has definitely taken a huge turn in the state of Tamil Nadu. We've been seeing protests everywhere happening in the state of Tamil Nadu, across cities, across districts, because the leader of opposition has been arrested now for his remarks on the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, C. Joseph Vijay, as well as actress Risha, during a protest that happened in Thanjavur yesterday. And the protest and the intention of the protest was to fight for the water to be released from Kaveri against the Karnataka government. But what has happened now is completely, a different turn of events, where we are seeing a completely different angle being taken when it comes to the remarks made by the leader of opposition. Though he did not directly speak, what he intended to speak was definitely derogatory, very cheap and very crass, and there has been a massive outrage over that. And we see the legal action that is being taken by the Tamil Nadu police in this matter upon complaints received from the TVK. And on the other hand, we're also seeing the DMK moving legally. And Udhayanidhi Stalin, even after getting arrested, while he spoke to the media, he in fact said this all looks like a comedy to him. It all looks like a joke to him. And that is what, is now being taken into consideration, because when the entire state and a lot of important people have been voicing out in support for the actress to be unnecessarily dragged into a political speech, has now definitely, and now the leader of opposition is being arrested for it, says that it is just a joke to him, and it has definitely not gone well with the people of Tamil Nadu. There has been a lot of outrage over this. But on the other hand, we're seeing the other parties in the state who have come out and condemned the TVK government for taking such action against the leader of opposition. In fact, the DMK stand at this point is that a budget is being filed today. The government is not ready with it, and they wanted the leader of opposition to be removed from the assembly, and that is the reason why this action is being taken upon the leader of opposition.
All right, Dharani.